Good afternoon, everyone. It is Wednesday, April 1st, and welcome back to the channel. On Monday, I gave an update about how the Supreme Court would be hearing Trump versus Barbara. Today, that is the case on Birthright Citizenship. That has happened and concluded, so I did want to give a brief update about that right now. Now, majority of what I'm about to share with you comes from SCOTUS blog and a few other relevant sources like AP News, so let's just go ahead and jump right. So first and foremost, you have likely by now heard that in an unprecedented move, Trump did attend the first about hour of those oral arguments in person. This is the first sitting president known on the record to do so. He did sit in the courtroom again, as I stated, for about the first hour before departing the 2-hour debate in those proceedings. Interesting to see while he was there, conservative justices arguing in defense of birthright citizenship, justices that he himself had nominated to that position. Now, the core legal argument, it comes down to jurisdiction. The administration's case centers on a specific reinterpretation of the 14th Amendment's phrase, subject to the jurisdiction thereof. Now, in the government's view, they argue this requires a permanent domicile and an exclusive allegiance to the U.S., which they claim children of undocumented or temporary residents do not have. Now, the counter argument, Cecilia Wang at the ACLU representing the plaintiffs, argued that jurisdiction is a simple legal fact. If you are on U.S. soil, you are subject to U.S. laws and courts, thus meeting the constitutional requirement. Now, questioning from the bench suggested the administration faces an uphill battle in any efforts to get this revoked or changed. Now, on the conservative wing of the Supreme Court, Chief Justice John Roberts and Justices Amy Coney Barrett and Neil Gorsuch all voiced skepticism. Justice Barrett notably questioned how the administration's domicile rule would apply to children of people trafficked into the country, while Roberts called some of the government's historical examples, quote-unquote, very quirky. Now, on the liberal wing of the court, Justice Sonia Sotomayor pressed the government on whether they intended to retroactively unnaturalize people already granted birthright citizenship, to which the government responded, they do not. So, what's next? The case has now been submitted for decision because of the magnitude of this constitutional question. Again, we're talking about a constitutional amendment. A final ruling isn't likely expected until the end of the term, and in Supreme Court language, that means late June or early July of this year, 2026. Until then, the executive order that came out around challenging birthright citizenship remains blocked by lower court injunctions. Beyond social media response from either side, this is likely as much as we will hear in terms of concrete updates until we get that final ruling. Any questions, please feel free to drop them below, and I'll see you in the next.